My brothers and sisters, you are now watching The Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need. And I hope you enjoy the video.
You know, if you have a PlayStation 4, you know, if you got it, the PlayStation 4 on launch day, we all know how dry it's been on these next-gen consoles, you know, and it was to be expected. You know, you buy a next-gen console the day it comes out, it's expected it won't have, you know, a lot of great games to play. You know, that's to be expected, but I don't think a lot of gamers, and even myself, because this was the first time I bought a console on launch day, I don't think a lot of us was prepared for the extreme level of dryness of these next-gen consoles, you know. And a lot of us was looking towards, you know, that Killzone Shadowfall to be, you know, the game that, you know, hey, I'm buying the PlayStation 4 to play this, you know, this has the potential to be a great game. We all know how that went out. That Sleep Zone struggle, that ended up being a disappointment, a huge disappointment. So as far as exclusives go, the next game that we were really starting to look, you know, towards was that infamous Second Son, my brothers and sisters. Now, infamous Second Son, this game had a lot of hype around it. You know, people were looking for looking for some game to justify of why did I buy this console so early. They were looking for a game that could truly give you that you know, next gen experience. You know, as far as like having these next gen consoles so far, there really hasn't been, you know, a moment, you know, while we were playing, you know, a game and was like, oh my god, this is what next gen is all about. We still haven't really had that, you know, moment yet on playing on these next gen consoles. So infamous Second Son had a lot of hype around. You know, Xbox One just got, you know, their Titanfall, you know, we just got our infamous Second Son. So, but it's time to see if this sucker delivered. It's time to see if Sucker Punch Productions delivered on this game. I mean, let's hop straight into it. Is infamous Second Son worth the 60 bones? So this game takes place 7 years after the events that occurred in the good ending of Infamous 2. So the setting for Infamous Second Son is 7 years after the good ending in Infamous 2, okay? So don't go into this game being like, what the freak, where's Cole McGrath? Where's my electric power? There is none, okay? All new powers is in this sucker, okay? No electricity is in this sucker. This time all new powers, my brothers and sisters. All new powers and an all new main character too. And his name? It's Delsin Rowe. I wish I had a beanie right now. It would go so good with this video, but I don't have a beanie. But you're playing as Delsin Rowe, a 24-year-old guy, also voiced by Troy Baker, the same dude that voiced Joel in The Last of Us. I'm sorry, I had to throw that in there one time, just in case you did not know. Fun fact, Troy Baker voices Delsin Rowe in this game. But anyways, you're playing as Delsin Rowe. 24-year-old guy. His life consists of waking up, going outside in the streets of Seattle, because the game does take place in Seattle, and he's pretty much made the city of Seattle his own personal canvas. You know, he likes to do graffiti. That's his thing. Delsin loves to do graffiti. So every time he gets a chance, he's doing graffiti on anything from walls to buildings to billboards to freaking stop signs. It doesn't matter. Nothing is safe when Delsin Ro's in town, okay? The only problem is he's getting in trouble for doing that, and it just so happens his brother Reggie is a cop. So literally, Reggie is trying to convince Delsin to change his life around for the better because he's forced to arrest his own brother. And he's like, look, you're embarrassing me. I can't keep arresting you. So he's trying to get Delsin to change his life around. But Delsin's like, no, bro, you do your cop thing. I'll keep on spraying these walls. So that's like the relationship, you know, between the two brothers. In Seattle, though, they have this organization called the DUP. And the DUP is pretty much a group of officers, and they literally have segregated the city of Seattle. The only difference is, instead of it being black and white people separated, it's humans and conduits. So they're like, conduits, your water fountain is there, okay? Do not touch the human water fountain. Your water fountain is over there, okay? There is segregation going on in Seattle right now, okay? It's crazy. So, that's happening. You got the leader of the DUP, Augustine, and she's this middle-aged woman, but you know, like right from the jump, you know, like she's hiding something, you know. Fast forward a little bit because I don't want to spoil nothing. There's an accident. Delsin gets his powers. What I was really hoping for this time around in Infamous Second Son is that Infamous has never been known to have, you know, the most groundbreaking, compelling storyline ever, you know. People don't buy Infamous, you know, for the story. You know, people that play Infamous and enjoy the game, they play it because it's a fun game to play and the gameplay is great, you know. But as far as the story, as far as the weak point of the franchise of Infamous, it's the story. The story, in my opinion, could have always been better. The character development could have always been better. But, you know, just didn't happen that way. So I was really hoping this time around that, you know, the story was better, the characters were better, the plot was better, just everything in the story was just better. And I was kind of let down. I can't lie to you. This is more of the same of your traditional Infamous game. The story isn't all that great. It's not terrible, but it's not all that great. It's it's a lackluster storyline, you know. So really, you don't care about any of the characters in this storyline. Aside from his brother and maybe his grandmother, Betty, you could give two you could give two freaking biscuits about anybody in this storyline, you know. It's because it's just the character development is just weak. You don't care really about any of the characters, and I just thought the pacing of the story could have been way better, you know. Again, for lack of a better word, this is another lackluster storyline. It's really not all that great. But, you know, that's just how Infamous, just the franchise has been. Infamous 1 didn't have, you know, an amazing storyline. Infamous 2 didn't have an amazing storyline. People play Infamous because of the gameplay, and it's a fun game to play. And that's where this game shines. Infamous Second Son is hands down probably the most enjoyable PlayStation 4 game you could play on the PlayStation 4 right now. Infamous Second Son is incredibly fun. If you want to take anything from this review, incredibly fun. Infamous Second Son. That's what this game is. This game is incredibly fun to play. The graphics are gorgeous, not gorgeous, gorgeous. The graphics in this game. That's why I don't see how you have these gamers complaining like, I need 1080p 60 frames per second because anything else is unacceptable. This game is what, 1080p 30 frames per second, and this game looks freaking gorgeous, dude. The graphics in this game, from the textures to the lighting to the visuals, everything in this game looks amazing. Sometimes you're just playing the game, you know, you'll like get all the way up top of something and you're just looking at, you know, the environment and the lighting, and you just have to take a step back and just put down the controller and be like, wow. Even though it's dry as life on these next-gen consoles, these graphics are amazing. You know, the graphics are amazing in this game. You know, I had to put down the controller and just like, this is crazy. But, you know, so the graphics are amazing. The gameplay is incredibly fun. If there's one thing about Infamous that you can always count on, it's it being a fun game to play. Infamous has always been that game that, you know, you can play it and, you know, you'll have a fun time while playing it. It's just the story. It could be better, you know. as far as these side missions, you know, that's getting into the replay value of the game because there is no multiplayer in this game. But the good thing about Infamous, even though the story is kind of lackluster, again, it's not bad, but it's lackluster. It could be way better. The good thing about Infamous is you really have to beat the game twice to say you beat the game, because there's a good side to playing the game or there's a bad side to playing the game. You could play the game as a good guy, or you could play the game as a bad guy, and that changes the outcomes of the stuff that happens in the storyline. So you really have to beat the game at least twice to say, okay, I beat this game, you know. So that's good. But once you beat the game, what else is there to do? Well, there is side missions in this game, but for the majority of the side missions, they have no depth to them. They are repetitive. I'm sorry, like most of the side missions consists of going here, seeing these drug dealers, and you have to take them out, and then it's a drug bust, then you might have to go here and then like spray paint this wall and whatever. It's like you're doing those really are the majority of the side missions, and after you do that for 5 times, for 10 times, for 15 times, it's just like, is there anything like, is there any like different thing that I could do here? There's no variety right now in these side missions, so it does get repetitive. I can't lie to you. As far as, but I said the majority. They do have these side missions, I guess, called Cole's Legacy and the Paper Trail side mission. And those are really like, I guess those, as far as side missions go, or just missions, you can really call those like missions, because it's not just the same side mission over and over and over again. It does have some depth to it. So, but aside from that, the majority of the side missions, they're kind of just thrown in there to give you something else to do, like once you beat the game, But that's really all I have to say about this game. The story, I was kind of disappointed a little bit. I thought the story could have been better, but the gameplay is incredibly fun to play. This game is enjoyable to play. You'll have a fun time playing this game. The powers are like, dude, just the powers you get in this game, some of them are just amazing to use. The powers are incredibly fun to use in this game. Again, if you want to take anything from this review, take this game. Is incredibly fun to play. If you just want to have a good time playing a game, this is the game you buy. And because it's dry, I mean, what else do you have to play? So Infamous Second Son, definitely a great game. My score for it would be, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. Again, it's pretty much that. The biggest weak point of this game is the storyline, and that's always been Infamous's weak point, is the story. So I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. It could have been, I had more hopes for the storyline, but it wasn't terrible, But so that's my review for that Infamous Second Son, okay? And if if you don't have this game, I hope this review, kind of helped you into making a decision to get, to get this game or not. If you're looking into buying this game, don't like go into this game, looking for the most compelling storyline ever, because you're going to be disappointed, okay? But if you're just looking to buy a great game that is fun to play, has amazing graphics and stuff like that, and is a somewhat open world game, then this game, you might like this game. So hope you guys enjoyed this review. That Infamous Second Son gets an 8.5 out of 10, and yeah, let the dryness continue.